what have you learned about, building a personal brand that you would want to share with others out there? Because I think, like, without a doubt, like, you started your own HubSpot solutions partner agency, but you started it in a very different place than just anyone off the street is going to. While other people are going to be like, all right, what am I going to do to go get my first client and all this kind of stuff? You had this like beautiful brand that you built up for yourself over the years,
Yeah.
right? And you used that as the springboard to get into the partner consulting space, right? That's not something that everybody has when they start doing this, right? What sort of advice would you have for folks who are going, I know in order to break in and build my own HubSpot solutions partner business or go out there and be a consultant, right? There's a lot of voices and a lot of stuff that I have to compete with, right? But I know I need to put myself out there. I know I need to create content to go out into the universe and get noticed, like all this kind of stuff. In today's world of that, like, where would you encourage someone to start who wants to go down that path of trying to make a name for myself a little bit so I can launch something off the back of that and work from that place? Like, where would you even tell that person to get started?
Yeah. So first of
Or
all,
would you tell them to go that route too? That's the other question.
it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Like, it really depends on the individual human. Listen, for a lot of years, I told myself the story, I'm a great number 2 to a number 1. I'm a great Robin to a Batman. The unfortunate thing is, I was probably
No, George, you need to talk about that. People don't realize that they are the God themselves. They are the one. All you need is you. Man, that hurt my heart when you're like, I need somebody else to lead. I am a shepherd. I am a follower. When people are not, you are in control. You think you are not in control. You are in control. Nothing happens to you. It happens because of you. And that is
For
why
you.
you need to go. You need to go and do the things, man. That number 2, because I would never get George.
No,
George needs a boss. Somebody give
I
George a boss
agree.
right now.
Listen, I agree. And where I'll go with that is I was lying to myself, but I needed to lie to myself for a while until I could have the self-belief that I needed to jump off the cliff that would actually happen when time came. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and go back at this a little bit, because what I want you to do, if you're listening to this, I want you to write down CAP. Yes, CAP. By the way, I wear a cap every day. It says happy, helpful, humble humans. Max has a line of hats that you might want to check out because I'm shilling for Big Cohen here. And here's the deal. CAP. I'm going to talk about this in a second. It's a thing that three pieces that are really important to anybody's success, whether you're working in another organization, whether you own an organization and you're trying to build a brand around it. But when I think about building a personal brand or a corporate brand in especially today's society, CAP. Okay. Number 1 is consistency. Listen, I didn't do anything extraordinary. I showed up on a day or 2 or 3 a week. I created a video. I put it out on YouTube and I shared it on social media. That's not extraordinary, right? But showing up for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years consistently, now all of a sudden that's extraordinary. Because it's not a flash in the pan. It's proving yourself that you're not going anywhere. And when you're not going anywhere, then what do people start to do? They start to trust you. You put out 3,000 tutorials. What happens? They start to know you. You be your crazy self. What happens? Well, if they like that kind of crazy, they like you, right? So now you got the know, like, and trust because you're being consistent with the content that you're creating and putting out in the world, one brick at a time. I love the Will Smith video about how he built a wall in his father's shop, one brick at a time. That's how you build a brand, one brick over the years. And eventually it gets to this point where magic can happen. We'll talk about the magic that's happening. I mentioned crazy you, right? If they like the crazy, if they like the you, then you got them. And that's the other thing is authenticity. Look, I didn't come and create my videos and try to make them perfect. I didn't come and create the videos or the podcast and try to sound smart. I just showed up as me and I asked weird questions and I made weird comments and I started to connect the dots in the way that I connected the dots around HubSpot and inbound and sales and marketing. And I just brought it authentically as me as a human. So you're coming to the world, adding value consistently. You're being yourself. You're being a whole ass human and being authentic when you're actually doing it. And then here's the secret sauce that's really hard for most people. Is it just a healthy dose of patience?
Mm.
You got to realize this is not a microwave situation. This is grandma's crock pot. It's going to
Come
have to
on.
sit there and percolate a little bit. You're going to have to give it time, smell the aroma, not lift up the lid until it's actually ready. And here's the thing. I sat and listened to Dan Tyre one time tell me, George, you are a human you are inbound in human form. You have taken the original inbound methodology and just made yourself that for the HubSpot community. And what we were talking about is over the 10 years of creating the video tutorials, creating the Hubcast podcast, doing the Sprocket Talk YouTube channel and going from 0 subscribers to over 8,000 subscribers, and realizing those 8,000 subscribers were only 26% of the viewable audience that was actually watching the content. You do that math. Realizing that what I had been doing for that 10 years was pulling back a slingshot, building a brand, building value, building trust. And then on June of 2022, when I went on the internet and I said, hey, I'm starting my own business, I let go of the slingshot. And brothers, I'm telling you right now, that's what it's felt like. I felt like somebody strapped me on the top of a rocket ship. And the last almost 2 years has been like, hold on, I don't know where we're going, but shoo, we're getting there fast.